Hi, it's Nadia here, and today I'm going to show you how to make the very last of our layering necklaces, the fourth one. It's the longest one, but the easiest one to make, and it's a wire wrapped beaded little charm necklace. So let's have a look at what we need and how to make it. Let's have a quick look at the materials you need to make this necklace, but I will list everything in the box below with all the links that you need as well. So you need 60 centimeters of chain. I am using quite a fine chain, but obviously it's up to you what gauge chain you want. And my chain is finished, so it already has a clasp and a little extender on it. You can use any color beads that you want, seed beads, but I'll be using the gold mix beads to make mine. And again, I will put the link for this in the box below. You need 0.4 millimeter wire. I'm going to be using gold to do the wire wrapping. And the very first necklace that we made in the layering workshop, which was the handmade chain, we made our own little links for it. And I will be using a couple of these links that I kept. So the 1 centimeter one and the 0.5 centimeter one. You can use a commercial link like an oval or a ring or even a square if you want. But I think if you're making a layering set that you want to wear together, it's really nice to use the same components across the different necklaces because it makes it very cohesive. And let's have a quick look at the tools. Flat nose pliers, cutters. It's always good to use flash cutters when you're working with wire. Round nose pliers. I have a pair of nylon jaw pliers. It really helps to straighten out the wire and get any kinks out, so I recommend it. And a ruler. Before I start, please remember to subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of exciting projects for you to do. And please have a look at our website, nadiaminkoff.com, where you can get some kits and some ready-made jewellery. I'm going to start off by taking some of this 0.4 mil wire, which is all tangled at the moment, but I'll straighten it out. So take a nice long piece, not too long, because you can always add some more as you go along. So I'm just going to cut it, and I'm just going to straighten it with my nylon jaw pliers, just so it's easier to use. So just give it a quick straighten. It also hardens it a little bit. I want to anchor my wire onto my jump ring. So I'm going to just put it through. Leaving a tail. And twist it around a couple of times. I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to help me. Just get it into place. So your little tail is what you're securing onto your ring. And I'm going to just give it a little squeeze to make sure it's nice and tight. I'll just bring the little it together a bit. Okay. And squeeze it again. I'm going to start applying my beads so that they wrap around the outside of the ring. And I'm going to make a little pattern, so I'm just going to use the 2 brass ones, 2 gold ones, 2 silver ones, and repeat. So, slip the very first bead right to the end of the wire. Place it on the top, on the outer rim of your ring, and now I bring the wire through and I push it. So I'm just going to hold that bead there in place, and I push it with my thumb through the ring It's really fiddly to start off with, but it gets easier after a few. So it's important to make sure that you push it through and pull it out. Don't try and bring the end in and bring it round because your wire will kink. I'm going to do it twice so it's nice and secure. So pushing it through with my thumb and then feeding it through and giving it a tug, and I'll bring it closer to the bead. And now I'm ready to slip the second bead on. I've pushed the second bead right to the end of my wire, so it's on the edge of my ring. And again, I'm going to take the wire now and I'm going to feed it, push it through my ring as close as I can to the bead and then pull it out. And I'm going to bring the bead as close as I can to the first one, and I'm going to do one more twist of the wire to keep it in place, pushing it through. And then feeding it through the inside of the ring, and then just bringing it closer to the other one so there's no gap. And as I continue to make my pattern and it fills up, it will be tighter and it will run right along the edge. So my little beads are starting to form a pattern along the outside of the ring. Every 6 beads for me is a repeat because I've done 2 bronze, 2 silver, 2 gold. So I'm just going to carry on exactly the same way until I reach the end. I've now got 12 beads around my ring, 2 sets of 6, bronze, silver, gold, bronze, silver, gold. If you run out of wire, you can always add another piece. I suggest starting it backwards. So I'd go back a couple, wrap it, and then start putting the beads on it. And I think I should be able to squeeze one last section of 6 beads into here to complete my ring. I've just put the very last bead on, and I want to show you how beautiful it looks once you've wrapped your beads along the outer edge. So I just need to make sure that I finish this wire carefully so it doesn't open, doesn't unravel when you're wearing it. And I'm just going to keep twisting it in between the beads, just a few more beads along, just for extra security. So push it through and pull. Then twist between the next 2 beads. Push it through and pull, and I'll do it 2 more times just to be safe. And last one, push it through and pull. I'm going to do it in the same place again, just for the very last one. Pull it through. Give it a nice tug. And with my flash cutters, I'm going to cut it. close, but careful not to cut into your wire, into the wrapping. So just going to trim it, and I'm going to give it a little squeeze. With my flat nose pliers, and just make sure that there's nothing sharp. So the little ring is now ready to go on your chain, and I'm going to attach it with one of the smallest rings that I made when we made the very first necklace. So just going to open it. And slip this ring through it and the chain, and now I'm going to close it carefully. So it's neatly attached to your chain. And the last thing I'm going to do, which you don't have to do, but I think is really nice, is I'm going to just make a tiny little bar on a ball pin using my beads just to put at the end of my little extender, and I will just make the same little pattern as I've made on the ring. So 2 brass seed beads, 2 silver ones, and 2 gold ones. And I'm just going to finish this off now. So I'm going to trim it. And make a loop, small delicate loop with my round nose pliers. And I'm just going to attach it now to the end of my little extender. It's just a lovely finishing touch. So if you're going to spend the time making a lovely necklace, it's always good to have delicate and beautiful little finishing touches. So it looks very professional. So I'm just opening my little loop, and I'm going to slip it on the last ring on my little extended chain. And close it. I also wanted to suggest that if you wanted a pair of earrings to match your layering necklaces, you can always make a couple more of these wire wrapped rings and join them onto your earring hooks, and they make a really beautiful pair of earrings. So let's have a look at how our 4-week layering workshop stacks up. So the first one that we made, which was the linked chain, is 40 centimeters long, and I made my one in gold. The next one that I made was this beaded bar linked chain necklace, and this one is 44 centimeters long. So it's just slightly longer than the first one when you wear it. Next up was my wire wrapped beaded bar with a little pearl pendant, and this one is 48 centimeters long. And last but not least, the one that we made today is quite a bit longer. It's almost an anchor point for this necklace, for this set, and it's 60 centimeters long. And I have got an extender chain on all of these, so each one of these necklaces, apart from the link chain one, can be approximately 5 centimeters longer. And you can wear them individually or together, or beautifully layered. Thank you for joining me on this journey, layering journey. I hope you enjoy making your necklaces, and I look forward to seeing you for my next project.